Hello everyone, welcome back to the DigitalEccentric channel. My name is Joe Robinson and today we'll be playing, well, once again we're going to be playing Space Engineers. This is episode 2 of my Survivor series. It's a new series of videos that I'm hoping to do over the next few weeks, where I play around with the game's survival mode. It's basically a mode where you have to abide by the game's rules in terms of energy and resources and kind of make your own way. So just like Minecraft, I suppose, if you want to put it in context. Apologise for the missing and or muddy textures that you may see in the game. I've had to turn the graphics settings down in an attempt to improve the stream. Not sure whether or not that will help, but we shall see. So, if you watched the last episode, you remember that I spent the first 40 minutes or so setting myself up, harvesting some basic resources such as uranium, and today I'm going to start trying to build a simple platform just to get myself a little base of operations going. Start with, I will go back in here. I believe there was some resources I left behind. Yep, here we go. Also, last time you saw me demonstrate how construction worked. So just as a quick recap, you have to refine the ores you find in the game to create basic components, and then use those components to create blocks. So this armor block here is one such example. Once you get some of the very basic components built, you can place down a chassis, which is what you see here. And then you use the rest of the components to basically build it up using a welder. So if I just zoom in on this block, as you can see, it shows me the details of this light armor block. And to basically finish off this block, all I need is steel plates. And I make steel plates out of ore, iron ore to be precise in this game. And basically I put them in inventory, press weld, or I would if I had the plates, and then it will just build up the health the thing from there. So fairly simple, but it does require a variety of different resources to get done properly. Right. See my refinery's working away there. We're finding some uranium at the moment. Uranium is key for power. Without it, without it my ship wouldn't work and I wouldn't actually be able to play this game, so that's fairly important. See, I've got my hand drill equipped, and with the hand drill it gives you a basic guide as to where all the resources around you are located. Obviously the discoloration on the surface, like here, shows you what this is, and this is iron. But for stuff that's slightly below the surface, you'll need something like the hand drill just to help you out, basically. As you can see, some of the bits are going walkabouts. You have to be careful with the gravity or lack of in this game, because it can cause your bits and pieces to go flying. They are incredibly hard to track down. So just remember that. Also, my inventory space is limited, so requires a lot of backwards and forwards. It's a bit cumbersome in a way, this game, way more than like Minecraft or anything ever was. In Minecraft, you'd automatically pick up anything you harvested, obviously. In this, you have to manually do it. Although if I built a small ship with a drilling bit, like a proper drilling weapon, let me see if I can see it. Yeah, that's the one. The small drill. Those components, as you can see on the left hand side, those are the components I need to build it. But yeah, the small drill, it picks up things automatically, so I suppose I should think about creating a small ship, because my current ship is a large ship and they can't equip the drilling bit, so inventory is full. In fact, I might do that instead, actually. I know I said I was going to build myself a little base of operations, but I've changed my mind. I think first order of business is to build myself a little drill ship thing. Probably be more useful, allow me to mine resources en masse, and I've got a deposit of uranium, so I'll have all the power I need. That way I don't really need that. So I will just continue in mining some iron for a little bit, just so I've got a good stockpile going, and then I'll start seeing about constructing myself a small ship. See how that goes. Again, just to recap from last episode, in terms of actual survival, because this is what the mode is called, there's not a hell of a lot of actual surviving needed. I mean, if you read the kind of dev block associated with the survival update, the guys basically called it survival because everyone will understand what that basically means. They were just going to call it realistic mode, which I suppose technically is actually more accurate. This is less of a survival mode and more of a realistic experience as to what life in outer space would be like. Which it's not a terrible thing. Would have been nice to have a few more survival elements, perhaps, like air. But at the moment, all I have to worry about is energy and my health, obviously. But seeing it's only me in here at the moment, no one's going to shoot me, so just to make sure I don't fall off anything like I did last time. So yeah, you'll notice in the bottom left-hand corner, there's my stats whilst I'm flying around, my health, whether or not my jetpack's on, etc., etc. You also see something called energy, which is a value that's slowly ticking down the more I fly around and play the game. If I run out of energy, my suit basically stops being able to produce air, and my health starts going down. So a bit like when you're underwater in similar games. To replenish my energy, I simply have to go to the medical station, which is located inside my ship, and that will sort me out. But obviously that energy comes from the ship's own energy stores. My current ship is powered by a reactor, and my reactor needs uranium in order to function. Now luckily I found a deposit of uranium, and that's what my ship is currently refining, so I should have plenty of uranium to keep me going for a long while, long enough for me to well, get things up and running here. And there's other veins that I found along the asteroid, so I can always go find more if that rain runs out. So yeah, not a lot of actual survivey type things that I have to do at the moment. I don't really want them to include things like food and water, because I think that would unnecessarily bloat the game, especially for the moment. Maybe they could expand on that later. But air, I thought was a bit of an odd omission, given how this is meant to be a game about surviving and building stuff in outer space. Well, I suppose it's not a game about surviving, it's about, you know, being in outer space and kind of building stuff in outer space. The emission of air, which is probably the single most important resource in a game like this, seems a bit odd, really. I think in terms of, I mean, obviously I'm not a game developer, so take this with a pinch of salt, but I would argue that adding air would be less of a technical challenge than adding something like food and water. I mean, all you'd need, I'm pretty sure the game is capable of recognising whether or not a space is quote unquote airtight or not. Nice, you can see it's slightly damaged, so I need to repair that at some point. Yeah, the game should be able to recognise whether or not a space is airtight, and if it is, then surely you should be able to add a sort of air value, which would allow you to sort of wander around an enclosed space without needing your suit, as it were. Because otherwise, what's the point in having things like doors? You know, there's a door to my spaceship, I can open and close it, but considering it doesn't actually make much of a difference, there's basically no point in having doors at all. But as I said, maybe they will include it in like far future updates, because at the moment they've just got to work on the main game. I'm just going to go ahead and check my energy levels quickly, maybe top up the uranium and then switch it to something else, because it's taken a while to refine this uranium. It's not that I don't need it, but I'll probably tell it to do other things. Right, to the cockpit. So I have 3 hours of fuel left. Current power usage, which is 11.26, which is basically just the refinery working. So, well, I could probably tell it to stop refining uranium for the moment. Uranium for the moment, I think. To refine some gold as well. Not sure if that's actually going to be needed for what I have in mind. Come on. Come on. There we go. Hit detection can be a bit funny with the doors. You have to make sure you exit at the right angle, otherwise it won't let you out. And you have to make sure the doors are open properly, which is something else I found out in the last episode. Wrong button. So yeah, patience is going to be an interesting thing in this game. If you haven't seen any of my past Space Engineers videos, basically, from what I can tell, I want to put it there, with regards to what this game's actual purpose is, it's a little bit more focused than something like, say, Minecraft is, where there is a kind of PvP element, but it's mainly, I'd say, just about dicking around more than anything. But in this, you can build weapons and stuff, and the game creators do want teams of players to compete against each other, but they want to compete in the sense that they want the players to first mine, refine, and then build their, fighters, big ships, whatever, and then go out and try and kill each other. But, as you can see, by the time this episode's finished, I would have been playing this game for, an hour and a half across both episodes. Whether or not I'll have a small ship built by the end of this episode remains to be seen. Depends what other resources I need. And I just get the feeling that the initial kind of building element's going to take a lot of time, so I don't know really how that'll pan out in the kind of PvP part of the game. Right, let's go to the assembler. First of all, this is damaged as well. Why is my ship damaged, like, everywhere? 100%, 99%, 99%, also just grazed it or something. Actually, I think I will build the platform first, because I need kind of something stable to build the small ship on, so... I don't know. I suppose here is as good a place as any. This isn't good. Right, I need to orientate myself a little bit better. Right, so, like in creative mode, if you've ever seen any of that, to start a new small ship, large ship, or new station, you first select it, and then it will give you your base block. Seems to be stuck at a particular orientation, that's a bit strange. Oh well. Let's see if we can find somewhere that makes sense. Yeah, so I got this base block, I've got to decide where I want to put it. Which is a more difficult decision than it really should be, but hey, aesthetics make up for quite a lot of things sometimes. But as you can see in the bottom right, it will require 25 steel plates to finish properly. Guess I'll find out when I place it whether or not I have to... I'll tell you what, I'll go up here maybe and place it. Let's try that again, shall we? New station. Right, so I need the steel plates first, basically, by those things. So, forget that, let's go and make ourselves some steel plates. Sounds like the refinery's finished for the moment. So, once the ores are refined, we can go to the assembler, because they're connected. The refinery automatically sends the refined goods into the assembler. So, go to production, steel plates. I'll double it just for the moment. Oh, whoops. You should be able to hear the background noises. So that's mining away. I'll just get some more iron. Don't have too much iron. Gmail99. No, this is not multiplayer. This is a single player Survivor Series run. Sort of building myself up to multiplayer at a later date. So I hope that answers your question. From what I remember, the multiplayer still has a couple of the features missing or unimplemented. Might be wrong about that, I'm probably wrong about that, but for the moment just want to see how things go in sort of a single player Survivor setting. Turns out things are taking too long. I will invite one of my friends in to help me speed things up, but yeah, for the moment, single player Survivor Series just to see how I get on. So, I have the steel plates. Third time's a charm. Right, so the outline is green now, so hopefully that means to place my station. Again, the angle's off. I don't know why the angle's off. But hey ho, never mind. Let me just see if I can experiment here. Oh, that's good, thank you, G-Bill. I haven't tried out the multiplayer properly yet. I just remember when it was first implemented, there was a few glitches. I thought maybe they disabled rotors and stuff as well because they weren't syncing up properly, but if they're fixed, then you know, it's good news. I'll make sure I invite some people in as soon as possible, and because I have a feeling it's going to take a while. I'm just going to have to build the station at an odd angle. There we go, yeah. So I placed the block. You see I've got a chassis. If I move closer, it shows me what I need to finish it. So 25 steel plates, 20 for the base I assume, and 5 for various levels of use. That's my first block. So let me just set up my tool panel. I'll keep it simple and just use light armor blocks for the moment, so equip that to my toolbar. Again, it needs 25 steel plates. Not on this one, Gmail. I'm doing an offline game for the moment. I'm mainly experimenting with the stream settings because I'm new to streaming and I don't want to mess things up before I get started. So I can't invite anyone in at the moment. I'm playing in offline mode. Don't know what's happened to the stream there. It's back now. So no, not for the moment, I'm sorry about that. But in future episodes I will open it up to other people playing. So but thanks for your offer. I wonder if there's a way to, yeah, there you go, order in bulk. Not in this episode, Gmail. I'm only doing short 1 hour bursts on the stream for the moment. Sort of a combined Twitch/YouTube thing, just to see how much you can really get done in, say, hour bursts, which I'm guessing is not a lot. Right. I'm definitely going to need way more iron. 25 steel plates a pop. 200 steel plates is like 1400 units of iron. Let me in. My materials I've got stored up. Fortunately, my cargo container isn't attached to my refinery, so I lose out on the ability for it to automatically send stuff from, say, the refinery to the assembler. I can't do it between the assembler and the storage unit. Although I'm pretty sure the assembler to the cargo container will work, so the assembler ever gets busy. Okay, so now I have overflow. Up a little bit. I'm alright, Gmail, but thanks for offering. So I'm just going to go alone for the first couple of episodes, see how I get on. But in the future, I imagine I'll start opening things up. No, I don't need the grinder, I need the hand drill. I'm hoping you guys can hear me because I'm not actually talking in the chat, because if I alt tab out of this game and alt tab back in, my game will crash because there's some weird thing with Twitch where if I alt tab in and out too much, games just crash while streaming. So apologies for not typing at the moment. Done with this load here, I will build some more of the platform and then I'll get a small ship up and running. Not bothering with colours at the moment. Because who has time for aesthetics when survival is ecstatic? Right. Go back to the assembler. As you can see, my suit energy is now low. Finish laying this out. I will go replenish myself, because if I die, that'll be slightly embarrassing. Hello, N1TCH. Who I assume is pronounced Notch. Don't know if you're the Notch, but welcome. It's a very good game. I think the thing that excites me more about it is its potential, because I'm playing it right now and I'm not entirely sure if I'm having fun. I kind of am, because it's, you know, my first experience with survival mode, and creative mode was starting to drag on a bit. It was a bit like Minecraft before that was implemented properly. People just creating stuff, which is great, you know, all these massive enterprises, and if you look at the Steam Workshop for this game, it's insane what people have created, like some really fantastic creations. All your favourite spaceships from sci-fi and what have you have been recreated. Niche, sorry, my mistake, niche. Anyway, yeah, so all your favourite sci-fi ships have been recreated, and it's just fantastic. So now the survival mode is sort of the how it would be done in real life, but not quite. So just playing around with it. But as I was saying before, people started coming into the stream. There's not a lot of actual surviving to do. Like, all you have to do is watch your energy levels and your health. But since it's only me, the only way I watch my health is not to fall off large heights or whatever, which is surprisingly easy to do. But there you go. Be nice if they added something like air, just to add that kind of extra bout of raw survival. Just so there's some other concerns. I mean, you do kind of run out of air if your suit runs out of energy, but you know, if I finish building this space station here, you know, it's not like I could then walk around in it and make it airtight and, you know, have its own air system. It just doesn't exist. So really it's only called survival just because that's what people kind of understand what that means. To improve your energy amounts. So energy's generated by reactors. So reactors require raw components to build. So like I'm building these basic armor blocks down together, you'd need to do 4 energy reactors. And then they're powered by uranium, which is a resource you can harvest. I found a nice uranium deposit near me, which is going to keep me in energy for a while, I hope. There's no way to kind of improve the output apart from just plonking down more reactors. I think every reactor's output is fairly constant, and the amount of uranium in it just decides how long it lasts. And obviously the more you do with any vessel or any system attached to a reactor, the more energy is used. So I suppose more reactors means you can have bigger engines, but you know, they'd still run out just as quick. Solar panels are in the game, Gmail. I don't know if you were saying to mention them or whether you were hoping they'd be in, but they were implemented in a recent update. So as you can see, the sun, I'm looking at it. All you really need to do is to build solar panels with them facing the sun, and they will generate energy. So you do not need uranium, which That's something I'm hoping to look at some point. Because not having to rely on uranium would actually be very useful. Right, so just to recap what I'm doing, I'm building myself a basic platform. So it's a station module. So as you can see, the three kind of entities you can build in this game so far are small ships, large ships, and stations. Stations are stationary; they cannot move. Even if you plonk engines on them, they will not move. Small ships and large ships are just different types of ships. So I'm basically building a basic platform, so then I can build a small ship on it, and then I will attach a better kind of a mining drill arm thing to that small ship, just to make my mining simpler. Because I don't know how many of you have seen right now, mining is a bit of a slog, a bit of a chore, especially because you have to pick everything up yourself, and with the mining arm attachment everything gets picked up automatically, which is quite nice. But building things can be a bit fiddly in 0G, especially if you have nothing to sort of attach it to. If I accidentally knocked what I was creating, it would go flying off. So I'm building this basic platform so I can attach my creation to something. As you can see, even though I'm placing down the basic chassis, these aren't usable blocks until I weld them. And for welding stuff, you need the raw components. And here it is simply steel plates. The more complex components require more complex things to weld together, which require, you know, different resources. Like all I've harvested right now is uranium, iron, and gold. But I will probably need magnesium, silicon, nickel, all the kind of other resources available on your typical asteroid, and so I'm going to have to go mining for them manually. Yay. So point of order whilst I'm here, as you can see, I've just stopped below this thin red line. Basically that red line denotes the minimum level with which a block is considered useful, from what I remember from the tutorial videos. So at the moment, at 78%, this block is not considered useful, it doesn't do anything. But now it's above the red line, so I believe the red line is 80% here. So anywhere between 80 and 100%, this block is still considered usable, it still does its job. But below that line it doesn't. So in terms of like basic repair, you'd want us to get it above the 80% line so that it still remains useful. Sorry. My hand drill away because I don't need it for the moment. I really kind of like the effect of the block slowly kind of filling in as you weld stuff to it. It's a very nice effect. Even though this is meant to be more sort of realistic than most games, they have made some concessions over the fact that it is a game. So for example, the fact that you can generate artificial gravity. At the moment science says that's not really possible without spinning components, so that's a concession. The fact, the way energy is transferred, so there's no wires in this game. So if you look at my ship, you know, it's not like there's wiring all throughout it. All blocks like these transmit electricity and energy, so all you have to do is connect a reactor to it, so place the reactor on this platform here, and then the whole thing would get electricity, provided the reactor was making electricity. trying to think what other concessions they've made. A lot of it's pretty realistic, like movement especially is realistic. You know, especially when you build ships, if you don't have thrusters in all the right directions, your ship can't move properly, it can't slow down properly, etc, etc. So I'm going to need to make sure I build enough thrusters in the right places. Opportunity to go replenish my suit's energy. Again, this is the only real survival element of the game. You just got to keep your suit topped up with energy, which with this particular start, which gives me a ship and a medical suite. It's pretty simple. Obviously this energy is coming from the ship's total store of energy though, so if my ship doesn't have energy then I can't replenish my suit, which is where the uranium comes in. So really, if you're starting any game of Space Engineers, especially on the survival mode, your first order of business is to find uranium. Without uranium you're buggered, and especially to start with, your ship can only maintain power for a short amount of time, so you've got to get that energy sharpish, otherwise you're in trouble. Right, need more how much? Another lot of 100. I apologise for the muddy slash missing textures in this game. Like, look at the engine. Doesn't look that great. If you look inside the spaceship, it doesn't look that great either. I have turned down the graphic settings just so that the stream will run better, because I've had problems with that in the past. So hopefully as things get better I'll be able to start cranking it up again bit by bit until I find my sort of optimum point. I've also downscaled to something like 616p or something, so I'm not broadcasting in full 1080. I think that's a bit beyond my capabilities at the moment. My system specs are a i5 processor. I believe it's a second generation i5 as well. I've got an NVIDIA 560 Ti. 560 or 660? So 560 or 660 Ti. I've got about 8 gigs of RAM, I believe, 6 or 8 gigs of RAM. On a 30 megabytes per second internet connection courtesy of Virgin Media. It's about 2 years old, this rig. So it's not terribly outdated, but it's well, when it comes to streaming I've still got to find the kind of optimum thing for it. Oh, that's one. That's uranium there, so I've got a nice store of uranium, and that's the refined uranium. So whenever my reactor runs low on power, all I do is take the refined uranium out of the wrong thing, out of the assembler, stick it in the reactor's inventory, and that will power the reactor. Nice and simple there. Right, so what I want to do now is a new small ship. construction components to build landing gear. That's what I thought. Construction components are another thing. Assembler. I believe they only require iron as well, but let me double check production. So yeah, basic toolbox. Build 50 of those to start with. That's what's going for this end before my hand drill. Right. Again, to recap, the hand drill allows you to basically detect ore at a very basic level. So obviously you've got this discoloration on the surface here, so you can say there's ore here, but you know, may not be obvious what the ore is. The reddy brown is iron, the gold is gold obviously, and this stuff here is magnesium. And as you get closer to the surface, you also start revealing that there's actually a silver deposit just below the surface here. So if I wanted silver, I know where to get it. There was some nickel back there as well. There we go, nickel. So about 12 meters below the surface here is some nickel. Go along here. Some more iron. A lot more iron. The moment, make a start. Forgotten how to lock things. Right, so basically for the landing gear, we need one construction component, one large steel tube, a motor, and one steel plate. That's a lot of random stuff. So I need to look something up. P. So that landing gear is now locked to the platform, which will allow me to build with some relative comfort. So possessing the construction component has allowed me to get the landing gear to 13% of readiness, so now I have to go and, what was it, a motor, large steel tube and a motor, right. So I need iron, nickel and cobalt. Right. Well, I know where the nickel is, but where is the cobalt? I'll go ahead and mine some nickel. So at least I know where that is. Where is it? Yep. Behind this gold deposit here. Got to check. Do a test. down there. Okay, so it seems to be gathering here, that's good. Over that. So I'm just building some kind of trenches because gravity in this game has a bad habit of making your rocks go, well, flying everywhere. The lack of gravity means that they can go spinning off into the void and then you won't be able to track them down again, which is all kinds of annoying. So one way around it, which was told to me by someone online, is just to park your ship where you want to mine and extend the gravity field so that it keeps the rocks pinned to the direction of the gravity. At the moment it's pointing down, which is good. Down is good. So I've just got to, but if they roll down too much they could roll out of the direction of the gravity field and then bounce off into space, which is what I've seen happen today actually. Kinds of ore in here. Careful to pick up everything I mine as well, because the world currently has a limit on how many small objects could be flying around at any one time. Set to about 300 or so, which should do for the moment, but I'm not careful, things will start disappearing. So. Ore seem to refine at different rates as well. The store of uranium I had was taking quite a while to refine down into sort of usable uranium. Iron refines quite quickly, as does gold. Nickel perhaps not so quick. This isn't a rich nickel deposit. Oh no, this is nickel as well. It's exactly like iron, but there you go. Probably do for nickel for the moment. So once I've done picking up this lot, I'm gonna go track down some cobalt. Don't remember seeing any, but I'll have to have a look. It's not near where my ship is. I'm gonna have to move it, which is awkward. Right. Ah, here's some cobalt right here. On the surface. See if I can't find any. Hello. Where there is gravity. Platinum. Good to know. Uranium, more uranium. Always useful. Energy is low. Well, I might have to reposition the ship for this one. Right, so I wanted to save energy. I turned off all the thrusters. Now I'm going to turn them all back on again. Go get the cobalt. See, fuel time is less now that I have everything on. So I'm hoping that'll do. Should probably rename all these so I know exactly what thruster is what. But I doubt that makes for good viewing, so I will leave it for now. Where are you, Cobalt? I know you're here somewhere. Aha, there you are. Ah, silicon. That's a useful one as well. It's used in some of the computer components that you can make. these little bits down because they're annoying. It's very quite deep, this stuff. Iron. I'm just going to have to stick with it for the moment. Is full, so I'm going to go back and sort this crap out. But it's taken a while to refine that nickel. Get rid of the other stuff. Quite easy to lose where you were digging in this game. You can put beacons down, but again, build them with stuff, so. Cobalt ore. Interesting. Oh, that's the cobalt ore, that's just stone. Okay. I understand. There's an easy way of getting rid of the stone you don't need though. This is more like it. I've taken a lot of the gold as well, but yeah. Anything other than iron takes a while to actually process, which is probably going to get annoying, but never mind. look at what I've mined, and then I'll see what that gives me, and crack on with my small ship. Steel plates in my inventory to actually do anything. Get some of the layout down. I'll get some of the other landing gear down as well. Oh no, I don't need landing gear. A bit hard anyway. Platform, here we go. So it appears you only have to have steel plates present in inventory. You don't need steel plates required to be able to guess the in creative mode you can sort of paste down a lot of blocks at once, but I guess that mode is disabled here. Yeah, see this I can see being a problem. All these little blocks, even though they're smaller than the big ones. Oh no, they only require one steel plate. That's good. They're going to require 25, just like the say detection seems to be a bit out of whack. This is the basic chassis of my small ship I'm building up. So as long as you have the basic components like construction components and steel plates for the armor blocks, you can basically just build up the chassis and then kind of fill in the rest later as you find resources, which is quite handy. Don't want to go away. Don't really know how long I want to make this, but ooh, okay. Ah, I see. So not only do you need steel plates to place them, you then need steel plates to fill them in. But thankfully, by the looks of things, the one that you use to place it also counts. Oh, that's a relief. Energy systems are running low again. If I change my mind about any of this, another tool which is currently stored away called the grinder, I can use that to disassemble everything and I'll get the resource back. So it's there's nothing lost in sort of assembling and deassembling. It's basically a one-for-one trade. It's quite good. Right, so I think I've been playing this for quite a while now, so I'm going to top up my energy and then I'm going to call it a day there. It's got a lot more done than I thought it would, although maybe not as much as I'd like. Once again, I'm going to have to turn off the reactors and everything because this game does continue running whilst you log off once you're logged off, apparently, so don't want the power to run out whilst I'm away, even though I do have a buttload of uranium now. I still hear the refinery going on behind me as well. Let's just see where that is. Still doing the cobalt. Wow, that's taking ages, that is. Actually, I think I might just leave everything turned on. Well, I'll leave it at down. Got uranium. So just quickly, what I'm doing is when I log off, the refinery should keep working whilst the game is logged off, so it'll still use power. But I've got the uranium there in the small reactor, plus all that uranium in the assembler. So if I log on to find that it's run out of power, no worries. And once it stops refining, it should also stop. Make sure I've got no ore left over. Oh, I do. I have it, yeah, might as well have it refine the uranium whilst I'm away. Because why not? Do is I will take uranium out of the assembler. and put it in a small cargo container. I'll take this. No, I'll leave the uranium in there. Right, yes, anyway. That's enough fiddling around for now. Again, thanks for watching the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get to see a bit about what Space Engineers is like. It's a very interesting game. I quite enjoy it. I still think it has a lot of potential. A couple of things to make it more interesting perhaps, but that was episode 2. Episode 3 will be tomorrow hopefully, and I will basically continue building my small ship, and hopefully I'll be able to finish it and I can do some serious mining. So I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers guys.